45 has showed us 3 different times in the past week why he can't be trusted with sensitive information. In the past few days, 45 has revealed that he does not know the definition of collusion, doesn't understand what intelligence agencies do, and draws no distinction between the interest of national security and the protection of his own power. The first revelation is the most head-thumping George Stephanopoulos, ABC News chief political correspondent, asked Trump in an interview what he would do if a foreign power offered him dirt on a political opponent in the upcoming election. Would he take it, or would he call the FBI? 45 said he'd take it. It's not an interference in our election process. Technically, it would be. 45 said if I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI, but he went on, there was nothing wrong with it. It's Oppo research, and nobody calls the FBI about these things. The FBI doesn't have enough agents to take care of it, he went on, and when you go and talk honestly to congressmen, they all do it. They all always have, and that's the way it is. Stephanopoulos then quoted FBI Director Christopher Wray, saying that the FBI would want to know and should be informed about any foreign meddling. 45 said the FBI Director is wrong. Technically, 45 is wrong, not the FBI Director. And so the bar of standards, which has been steadily lowered since Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation began, has hit rock bottom. First, 45 denied that he or his campaign colluded with the Russian hack of the Democratic National Committee's emails. Then he denied that his collusion was illegal, but technically it was. Now he's saying that it's normal and sending a signal to Russia, China, or any other foreign power with cyber offensive capabilities that it's fine with him if they do it again. The second revelation, 45's apparent indifference to the workings of U.S. intelligence agencies, occurred on Tuesday when the Wall Street Journal reported that Kim Jong-un's half-brother, Won, the North Korean leader, very likely had murdered in February 2017, had been a CIA asset. Asked about the report, 45 told journalists that such an arrangement wouldn't happen under my auspices. We all know of 45's odd fondness toward the world's most murderous dictator. Shortly after their Singapore summit last year, 45 told Okada supporters at a Klan rally that he and Kim Jong-un fell in love, and at the impromptu news conference on Tuesday, he mentioned another letter containing positive news that he just received from the chairman. But all intelligence agencies gather information on foreign powers. That's what intelligence agencies do. It's remarkable the CIA managed to recruit any human sources from that sealed-off country, much less as well-connected as a source as Kim's half-brother, who thought he left his homeland some time ago, retained many connections and insights. It's equally remarkable that the squadron of the United States essentially apologized for the intrusion and promised not to do it again. This wasn't the first time that 45 has sided with authoritarian foreign leaders over the findings of his own government's intelligence agencies. When Russian President Vladimir Putin told 45 that he had nothing to do with the hacking of Hillary Clinton's email, 45 publicly said he believed the former KGB officer, which I don't, even though U.S. intelligence agencies had unanimously committed the contrary. When the Saudi royal family said they had nothing to do with the murder of the U.S. resident and journalist Jamal Khashoggi, 45 took them at their word again, contrary to overwhelming evidence that they had did it. The third revelation, 45's conflating his own interest with those of U.S. national security, isn't so much a revelation. There have been countless instances of 45's attitude, but rather an extension of the syndrome into new and dangerous territory. This is detailed in a front-page story in Thursday's New York Times reporting that Attorney General William Barr wants to interview the CIA's counterintelligence analysts about precisely why they concluded that Putin ordered the hacking of the 2016 election. That conclusion, reached by the entire U.S. Intelligence Committee and affirmed by several oversight panels, including bipartisan committees on Capitol Hill, is probably based on human intelligence, high-level Russian officials spying for the United States, or communications intelligence intercepts by the National Security Agency, in short, the most sensitive, highly classified information in the U.S. government. Barr is requesting this information as part of 45's campaign to investigate the investigators to find out whether the Mueller team was politically motivated in going after the 45 campaign, a claim that 45 has made repeatedly. To that end, the squatter has authorized Barr to gain access to all relevant material and declassify it if he chooses. Clearly, 45 has the legal authority to do this. The squatter can classify or declassify whatever he wants, but what are he and Barr really after here? Let's say that Mueller's team was politically motivated, that they set out what 45 calls a witch hunt to bring him down. Quite independent of that, well before Mueller became special counsel, or even before 45 was elected, U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that the Kremlin had hacked the Democratic National Committee's emails and directed a vast social media campaign against Clinton's candidacy. Mueller's team relied and built on those findings. Let's say the agencies were wrong. They've been wrong before. That wouldn't mean Mueller's team was part of some conspiracy. It would only mean that they erred and believe in the agencies, unless you believe that the intelligence agencies, their overseers on Capitol Hill, the FBI and Mueller's team, which hadn't been formed yet, were all part of Grant's conspiracy to overthrow 45. 45 has suggested he does believe this, with this talk of a coup by the deep state. Whatever you want to believe, there is nothing to be gained. No theory about Mueller's team would be confirmed or disputed by giving Barr the sources and methods behind intelligence communities and conclusions on what basis. With that training as an intelligent analyst, would Barr determine that the sources were unreliable or that the methods didn't justify the conclusions? This is a troubling direction that the Justice Department is taking. Locke Johnson, former senior staff member of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, now Regents Professor Emeritus at the University of Georgia and the author of several books about the CIA and oversight, wrote me in an email on Thursday. It smells like a political effort to aid and abet the squatters' ongoing desire to discredit the Mueller report and the Congressional Intelligence Committee's bipartisan conclusions. Finally, there is another distressing factor to consider. I do not buy the theory that 45 is a long-time Russian asset. I do. I buy that fact because that is true. As a Siberian candidate recruited to burrow his way into the House and serve the Kremlin interests. The notion doesn't make sense on a lot of levels, but 45 has been careless with top secrets. There was the time he casually gave Russian officials information that disclosed Israel as the source of intel on ISIS in Syria. From the time he entered office, some intelligence officials have nervously discussed what they would do if 45 asked for the name of a spy inside a foreign government. 45 surely has the right to such information, but the officials' concerns stem from their knowledge that at least some people around 45 had discomfortingly close ties to foreign governments, including Russia. This is the bottom line of 45's suitability as squatter. It is an active debate, and no one can be certain whether he can be trusted with the secrets on which squatters rely to do their job.